It's Christine at cricketscorner.stampinup.net, and I'm going to do a real quick, I hope it's quick, live video today showcasing our new snowflake showcase stamp. So I'm using the snow is glistening like this, and we're using a lot of these in this stamp set. So I'm going to turn this around here, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing, or what we're going to do. We're going to make a card. So yay! So surprise, surprise. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this is because November the 1st is coming up really, really soon. And November 1st is significant because that's when our customers can actually order these stamp sets. So I wanted to show you what you could do with them. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to blank you out for just a minute because you don't want to see, well, it's not that bad. I'll just flip it around. I don't care. Let's go ahead and get this card made. And let me know if you're on here. I don't know who's on here now, but somebody is. Okay, I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to flip it down real quick. So here we go. Alright, there we go. We're going to get started, and it looks like it's a little tall for me. Let me see. I don't know why it's set the way I always have it. Maybe somebody else used it and I didn't know about it. Okay, so we've got everything ready to go. I hope I have everything ready to go. And so I'm going to go ahead and get everything out of the way that we're using. We're going to be using this. We're going to be using embossing powder today, and we're going to be using the silver embossing powder. Let me leave that. Here's the stamp once again. This is what's going to be available November the 1st. Put that to the side because I've got all my stamps ready to go. We're going to be using the Rhinestone Basic Jewels. So I'll put that to the side. And let's see, we've got the Berry Bushel ink pad. That's what we're going to use today. And the silver sequin trim. Look at my fingers, they're all inked up. And this is the mini sequin trim. Whisper White cardstock. I'll tell you the measurements in a minute. Blueberry Bushel. And Gray Granite cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the Whisper White. So the Whisper White cardstock, I've got it measured at, and I've got the measurements over here. I don't know if you can see them. Let me see if I move this over. I got so much stuff on my desk. Well, I'll just tell you what they are. It's too hard to do all that. Okay, so the first one is, let me flip it over this way because now I've got something on the front of it already, from my fingers probably, so you got to be careful with that. So this one is measured at 2.5 by, should be by 5 inches. So 2.5 by 5 inches. This one is 1.25 by 5 inches. So we're going to kind of push that one to the side. We're going to work on this one right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get my Blueberry Bushel ink pad. Open that one up, and I'm going to put it over here. And then I'm going to get my stamp that I already have ready on my stamping block. These are awesome. The acrylic blocks from Stampin' Up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this inked up. I might be able to cover that little blemish right there. We'll see what we could do. So how's everyone doing? Anybody out there today? I just surprised you. Yay. So, okay, so I'm going to move this to the side, and hopefully got that all inked up. And we're going to put it right here in the middle of this cardstock. Let's see. Hopefully straight. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and push that down. Make sure it transfers the ink to the paper. Okay. And let me pull that up. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and use my chamois to clean our stamps as we go. So I'll go ahead and clean that. It's the coolest thing ever. See, perfectly clean. It's a little stained, but it's okay. All right, and then we're gonna get, I'm gonna get my, they're rocking, the pages are rocking. We're gonna get the 1.25, I think it was, sheet by 5.25, or 5 inches. And I've got this stamp right here. It's like little dots, like snow. I'm inking it with my Blueberry Bushel. And I'm gonna just stamp off twice. And I'm going to just put it right there. And we're going to do that until we get the whole thing done. Just like that. Should be closer than that. I can't see behind the camera how close I'm getting these things. I can probably come back and do it again here in just a second. Okay, there's that. I'm going to go ahead and do I'm going to fill these in real quick. Let's see, I'll put it right in the middle. Okay, that's better. And there. And I'm going to go ahead and do it on the bottom again just to make it even. Okay, so I'm going to clean this one, so we're done with this. And then I'm going to take, what am I going to do next? Okay, then we're going to take, now the fun part comes where we do the embossing. So let me go ahead and get this ink put away because we're not going to use this ink. Get everything ready for embossing. I'm going to put this over here. Got to kind of get everything ready because I don't want to get the embossing powder everywhere. Okay, so we've got our silver embossing powder. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to use my Versamark right here. And then I'm going to use our embossing buddy. This is basically filled with some sort of powder, like kind of like baby powder kind of thing. And you're just going to rub it on top of where you're going to emboss on your design so that all the embossing powder doesn't stick where you don't want it to stick. So I'm also doing this one. Just rub it on there. Okay, so I'm done with that. Then I'm going to probably do these one at a time. We'll see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and get my embossing powder ready. And I'm going to get an extra piece of paper and put it over here just so I don't get embossing powder everywhere. So I'm going to just put it on top of here. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to get started. So I'm going to do a few embossing techniques on here. We're going to use the word joy from the stamp set, and I'm going to use the little bitty snowflake, and then we have the trunk, the tree trunk for the tree. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this open. And let's see, I will do, really doesn't matter, let me do the joy first. You just ink this up. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing exactly. Let me see if I can bring this down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to line it as best I can. Like I said, I'm behind the camera. It's a little bit more difficult. Stamp that on there, and then I'm going to kind of work a little quickly. Put this back on there. This is just that little bitty snowflake. So I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to put this on some of the snowflakes that are on this tree. There's usually about, I think I usually do about 8 of them, and I'm not even sure if I'm getting them in the middle because I can't see behind the camera. Okay, and then I'm going to do the trunk real quick. I'm just going to put it down here and make it a little bit more at the bottom. Just like that. Alright, and then I'm going to quickly take my embossing powder and I'm going to put it on top of my design that I just did. So hopefully you can see that. And then we have the embossing powder where we want it. I don't know why these are sticking because I did do the embossing buddy, so we'll just kind of wipe this off a little bit. Oh, look at my tree trunk. It's not even quite down all the way. That's okay. Alright, so I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to do some more embossing. We're going to take our snowflakes from the stamp set, and I did put 3 of these together. I put 3 of them all on one block. And I'm going to just set this to the side. We're going to work on this. So we're going to ink up with the Versamark all the snowflakes, and then I'm just going to randomly just kind of put them on here, ink it up again, and I'm going to flip it around. Let's see if I can see where I stopped. Okay, we'll do it there. And it's okay if it's hanging off the paper. That kind of makes it more original. I'm just kind of flip it around again. I'm going to do maybe something right here. Okay, so it's funny because you can't see what's going on right now. Alright, so we're done with the Versamark. I'm going to put that away, and I'm going to go ahead and take this piece, and we're going to use our embossing powder on it. Let me do this side, and then I'm going to flip it around, and we're going to do the other side. Super fun. This is like my favorite thing ever with Stampin' Up. Okay, so I'm done with that. I'm done with that. And that. So I'm going to go ahead and put the embossing powder away. We are done with that. Okay, and I'm going to take this page and move it out of the way. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is take our embossing heat tool, our Stampin' Up heat tool, and hey Valerie, how's your foot doing? Okay, this is going to be a little bit loud. Let me get the wire all done. And you have to be kind of careful with these because they do heat up really, really well. and they can burn your fingers. So just be real careful with it. I'm gonna let it heat up a little bit. this wire is making this camera shake. And then I'm gonna just kind of hover over the embossing powder so it'll heat up, and then it'll start turning colors, or not colors, but it'll start shining. I don't know if you can see that. And then I'm gonna just keep going. Yeah, I didn't quite get those snowflakes embossed to where I want them, but that's okay. You'll get the idea. This is a really cute card. Okay, I'm gonna flip this around so I don't burn my fingers and do this side. Yay! Almost done. My tree trunk that's really low. That's what happens when you work behind the camera. It's kind of hard to see things. I actually do pretty good normally, but that didn't work out too well. So we're going to move and do this one. And I'm assuming you can see it changing. I think it's the most coolest thing ever. I love it. And our embossing powder is so nice. I love the way it looks. So let me flip this around so I don't burn my fingers. There we go. And you could do this in any color, this whole card. You could do it in reds with the silver embossing. You could do it in greens with, they even have gold embossing, powder. Okay, so that's all that we need to do with that. That is the coolest thing. Okay, so look at this shine. You can really see the snowflake shining. Look at that. I made my own designer series paper right there. So anybody could do that. It's so cool. And then look how cute that is. Look at that. It's like little, they're like little snowflakes, of course, but it just looks like it's, I don't know, glistening in the snow. Okay, so we're going to put this to the side. Okay, I went over the measurements with this, right? I think I did. Okay, so now we're going to take our blueberry bushel cardstock, and I've got this cut at 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, so that's what we're going to put our pieces on here. So I'm going to take some of my snail adhesive. I'll put this on the back. Alright, and we're going to leave about 1/4 inch all the way around this. So it'll have like a little border on it. Okay, we're going to flip this over. I'm going to do the same thing. Put some snail over it. Valerie, it's raining again, like today, all day. It's been mostly overcast today, but it's been raining, or just recently started raining again. So yeah, it's going to be a while before we can get any grass mowed, unfortunately. Okay, so I just butted it up against this other piece, and then it's like the perfect border all the way around. So don't worry about this right now. We're fixing to do something about that. So I'm going to take, my paper got all wrinkled from the heat embossing. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Tombow glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit of a beaded line all the way down the middle right here. So let's go ahead and get that done. Just a real simple, quick, tiny, try to get it straight line. And then I'm going to take my little sequin trim right here, and I'm going to turn it a little bit sideways. I'm just going to stretch it out, make sure the sequins are upright, and I'm going to kind of lay it on top of it just like this. So cute. And then I'm just going to kind of watch as I'm pressing down, make sure it doesn't get all crooked, and make sure it's actually on the glue, because we want it to stay down. So I'm going to kind of pull on it again, make sure it's nice and straight, and push on it, push on it. Just love it. It's so pretty. I love shiny stuff. Love shiny things. Okay, so I'll let that dry just a second. Just kind of keep rubbing it, making sure it stays where it belongs. Okay, so, oops, this is not staying, so you got to kind of play with it. Make sure give it some time to sit and dry a little bit. Okay, so while we're waiting that, I'm going to get my tape, my little like kind of scotch tape, gift tape, whatever you want to call it, and hopefully this will stay down. So I'm going to just flip it over just like this, and I am going to kind of give it a little push down. And then I'm going to take a piece for this end. I'm going to flip this little piece over, and I'm going to tape it down. That. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side, so I can put that away. Alright, this just kind of holds that sequin down. Even though it's glued down, it kind of secures it in the back like that. So hopefully it hadn't moved. Okay, perfect. It didn't move. So it's not perfectly straight, but that's okay because cards are not perfect. Okay, so we got this. This is so quick and easy. I'm like almost done. It's crazy. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and flip this over, and I'm going to put, you could put dimensionals on the back. You could put the snail. I'm just going to do the snail just for time's sake. Oops, it's kind of sticking to the page. Okay, and we're going to take our gray granite cardstock. This one's cut at 8.5 by 5 1/4, 8.5 by 5 1/2. Sorry. You can get 2 of these out of one sheet of cardstock, the 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So, and I just scored it at 4 1/4. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this to this gray granite cardstock. And again, you want to leave about 1/4 inch on either side, just like that. Okay, that's on there good. And then I'm gonna take, I'm not done yet. We're gonna take, where's my sleek ones, my little rhinestones, because I like bling. Like I said, I'm gonna take some of these. I'm going to put them on top of our little card. So I've got my pick your tool, take your pick tool. Sorry, I never can get the name of it. Never can. And I'm just going to put like 3 rhinestones just kind of randomly on here. Just kind of helps the glitter, right? All the glittery. Let's see, I'll put one there. I usually put one down here, but we're just going to leave it alone like that. I think that's fine. 3 is plenty. Okay, so I got something right there. I don't know what it is. Maybe I should put a rhinestone up there. Who knows? Okay, so now I'm not really quite finished. I wanted to get another piece real quick. Let me get my Whisper White and see if this piece is big enough. I'm going to cut this piece really quick. This will go on the inside. Let me see what size. We've got 5 1/4. I'm just cutting, and then by 4. So for the inside of the card, I'm doing 5 1/4 by 4. There we go. Got it. All right, so there's that piece. So we're going to actually lay it this direction. I'm going to go ahead and get my blueberry bushel back out. I'm going to put this away. Blueberry bushel ink out. And we're going to get our cute little sentiment. This one says, let me get the actual box because I don't remember what it says. It says, sending a blizzard of wishes for a wonderful season. Or you could do, each snowflake is beautiful, sparkling, and special, just like you. Actually, that's what I'm using. Yeah, each snowflake, that's the one I'm using. So, and that's out of the same stamp set. Using the same set, nothing crazy going on right here. Snow is glistening, that's the one I'm using. Each snowflake is beautiful, okay? So we're going to take our blueberry bushel ink up our stamp. And you just, when you ink your stamps up, it doesn't have to, like, you don't have to pound it or push down really hard. Just tap, tap, tap is all you need to do. You don't want it to get, like I just did, all over. See that? All over that? So I'm just going to wipe this off on the bottom here. Okay, so I got rid of it. So you just kind of just gently tap and just make sure all the letters are all covered in ink. Okay, so we're going to just put this right, actually it goes this direction. I'm going to put this in the middle of my card. So we're going to put it just like that. Just like in the cards in the store. You have a little sentiment inside. Okay, so we've got that, and then I've got another snowflake. I'm going to take these off, these 2, and I'm just going to use this one for now. Okay, so I'm just going to, like I said earlier, just going to just tap, 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 nothing super hard, and you can kind of see the ink get all over the ink, all over the stamp right there. So you just tap, tap, tap. It's covered in ink. You don't need any more than that. So I'm just going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp it in here. Just right there in the corner. Super soft look to it. Okay, now what you could do is I can get another rhinestone. Let me get that real quick. I was thinking about this earlier when I made my other card. Go ahead and take your pick tool, and you can get, stay right there, another rhinestone and put it right in the middle of this little snowflake right here. Oops, let me move it over and push down. There we go. So cute. So cute. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now we're going to turn this over, and I'm going to go ahead and put my adhesive on it. And you really don't need a lot of adhesive also. I usually don't put the one in the middle, but I am just for today. So here's our card again. I'm going to flip it over, and on the inside where everybody looks and signs and reads the comments, that's where you're going to put this beautiful little sentiment right here. Okay, so I'm going to fold it in half, and you have a beautiful little card. I love it. I love the sparkle. I love the shine. So here's the other one I made earlier today. See, I put this one down a little bit lower, but see, I was able to see, and I put the trunk in the right place. This is cute, but it's a little bit too low. So that's how I made my cute little stamp, my little cute little card. All right, so if you want to get this stamp set, it'll be available November the 1st on my shopping page at cricketscorner.stampinup.net. And I'm going to probably post this video on our YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and that way you can see it again. I'll have it posted here, of course. Hey, Linda. Hey, Mom. Hey, it's about time. It is about time you actually catch me live, so surprise. I'm a little shocked, and you're a little shocked, I'm sure. But yes, so isn't that cute? This is the card. This is actually one of the cards I made for one of our swaps. Oh, look at my nails. Pretty. Not something I would normally do. Anyway, these are the cards that I made for my swap for our, it was our team, our leaders group for our Stampin' Up group. And this is one of the cards I made, and then of course they asked for us to make 2 cards, and then I made this one. So I've made this one and this one. I sent them off, and then I said, well, this is so pretty, I want to showcase this stamp set. Let me find it so that y'all can see what it can do. And I love this little, like, I don't know, it's like snow falling. It's so pretty. And then this, I saw this a while ago. Look at this little stamp. Look at that, it has little snowflakes in it. Isn't that adorable? I probably could have used that right here instead of just the dots on there. You could do that. Isn't that adorable? And then there's that little wee snowflake I used. There's Joy. There's the tree trunk. And then this is the snowflake. This is the sentiment I used. Here's the dots I used. And I used all 3 of these snowflakes. So, I mean, it's a great set. I love it. I love it. It has 14 stamps in there. So, anyway, if y'all have any questions about it, just let me know. But it will not be available until November the 1st. And so after that, you'll be able to order it. So I will have a hostess code set up for starting November 1st. In order for you to use to get, once you place your order, you enter your hostess code. Anything $150 and below, actually $149.99 and below. Anything above $150, don't use the hostess code. So you can get your own rewards for that. So anyway, I'm so glad y'all joined me today, and maybe I'll do this more often. We'll see. Anyway, y'all take care. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.